again, welcome back. Today's video is going to be a review. I was approached a couple of weeks ago by a company in America called MicroClimate, and they asked me if I'd be interested in reviewing their new Air3 powered respirator. And after doing a little bit of research, I decided it would be something I'd be interested in. So it arrived last week and I've been putting it through its paces, and I'm going to give you a breakdown of the actual equipment, and I'll give you my final thoughts at the end of the video. So without further ado, let's get in and look at the MicroClimate Air3. What comes in the box? You have the unit itself. There is a protective molded cover, which I've already attached because I've been using the respirator. You get a microfiber cloth for cleaning the face shield, a plug for testing pressure, a USB connector, a power adapter which is US fitting with a USB connector at the back, a USB-C port cover which goes in here to protect against dust, etc., a manual, and also a bracket with 2 screws to attach to wherever you like to actually hang the unit from. Now it must be said, in the UK you will obviously need an adapter. You can either get an adapter like so, a 3-pin adapter into which the supplied connector clips in with a USB port at the back obviously, or you can get a 3-pin USB plug with the USB connector there and just connect it in there for charging. So those are the options for any UK customers. But firstly, we'll go through the technical specs, etc. of the Air3. Now this respirator is designed for airborne particulates, not for gases and vapor. So be mindful of that. If you're doing aerosol spraying, etc., this is not designed for that. It's for airborne particles. Now it has a filtration capability by means of 2 filters sited on the side of the unit of, in the States, of P100. In the UK that's equivalent to FPP3, which filters over 99% of airborne particles, and it's ideal for all sorts of wood, including hardwood and indeed MDF as well. Now the face shield is polycarbonate, and as I say, it has a tear-off cover because polycarbonate is quite soft and marks easily. And the actual face shield is 2.1mm. Now that conforms to E87 plus in the USA, and in the UK that's EN 166.2001, which is an enhanced protection capability compared to the EN 166. So it's higher than the standard protection level. Now the battery, which is situated in the top of the helmet, is a lithium-ion battery, and it has, from fully charged, a capability of 8 hours operation. Now if it is completely discharged, it'll take approximately 8 hours to recharge to full again. So the ratio in between, I would assume, is similar. I mean, I used it for about 3 hours and it took about 3.5 hours to go to fully charged. The unit does come with a partial charge in it, but obviously it is advised to charge it fully before use. The button on the front is the start and stop button. You merely hold it in and you hear the beep. It shows an aqua light, and that means that everything is okay. The battery has got enough charge in it and it's having sufficient airflow, and everything is okay with the filters. Now I don't know whether the microphone actually picks it up, it is extremely quiet. Now, to turn off, you hold in again, you get a double beep and it turns off. Now when charging, that blue light will flash, that aqua light will flash, and when it turns green it means that the unit is fully charged and ready to go. And as you can see here, the USB cover there, I'll go in the pros and cons at the end of the video. Let's just get through what it actually has and what it can do. Okay, so as I said, the filters are easily removed. You merely unclip there, and those are the filters, one on either side. And once you've changed the filter, then you merely slide it in and click it home. Very easy to change the filters when you need to, he says. There we go, job done. Now you know I'm not the most articulate person in the world, so forgive me for that. Now the airflow, should it be restricted regarding the filters needing changing, an alarm will sound, and it is a repetitive beep, and the light at the front will show amber. All the disposables like the filters, inside the foam, there is a shroud here which I'll go through when we go to fit it on. Everything is replaceable, and on the website at MicroClimate, the only thing you can't change is the battery. That has to go back to the manufacturer. Sorry, the battery's at this end, at the top of the helmet. It has to go back to the factory for a change. And as I say, I'll go through the pros and cons at the end of the video. Now, apart from its filtration capability, which is excellent for wood turners, and as you know, I always advise a good extraction at the point of producing the dust at the lathe, a good extractor there, and obviously, if possible, a ceiling mounted air filter as well, to give as much protection to you as possible for the airborne dust. But this piece of equipment, specification wise, more than meets the needs of the wood turner. The plug which I showed you when I went through what's in the box, that is to block the passageway when you do a test to make sure the alarm is working, etc., and that's all explained very, very capably in the manual. Now, an important part of any equipment that we use is comfort as well as effective protection against the dust, because if it's an uncomfortable piece of kit, we are more than likely not to wear it all the time because of its discomfort. Now this comes in at just on 1.6 kilos. It's heavier than some and lighter than others. However, the balance is excellent, and I honestly can't stress that enough. It is extremely comfortable to wear for long periods of time. As I say, I did wear it for just under 3 hours, I think it was. Okay, so because it's a positive pressure respirator, as respirators are, you don't need to have a good seal, like for example if you're wearing facial hair like I've got, or if you wear glasses, etc. They won't steam up because it's a positive pressure, which means that you don't need to have the seal to make it effective as you do with face masks, which rely on a tight seal around the face. So it's always advisable to turn it on before you actually fit it. Now, don't hold it by the shroud. Hold the shroud out like this, like so, stretch it, and in you go. Now you should be able to hear me quite well, even though I've got the motor going, etc. And there is a a screw at the back, a knob at the back, which you can alter it to your own comfort. You've got excellent vision, as you can see. Now the important thing is there are two toggle lines here, is to make sure that they are tight, comfortable but snug. And then this is how it is, and because of the balance you can move around, you can put your head up and down, and it doesn't feel as if it's any pressure on your neck whatsoever. And that's how I find. Now the headband inside is fully adjustable, so you need to play around with it a bit obviously to get it really comfortable for yourself. And to take off, again, just undo the toggles, keep the machine going until you get it off, otherwise it'll steam up, and then literally lift it off. Now when I originally saw that, I thought, I don't know, it's going to be a bit of a problem to put on, but it really isn't. And if I can do it, as I say, I'm not the most dexterous person in the world, anybody can do it. So it's comfortable, effective and quiet. What I'm going to do now, because obviously I do YouTube videos, etc., I've also got a head mic which I use. You can use that as well. Now this lavalier mic is outside, and I think you'll find that you could hear me okay. I'll just don the other one, which I use very rarely, but so you can see how it sounds with the mic inside the helmet. Now I don't know how this is going to sound until I take it off obviously and play it back, but I've got the head mic inside the helmet, and I should imagine there is a bit more noise from the fan, but I should imagine you can still hear me quite well, so it could be used for doing sort of live demonstrations, etc. if you're working with something that you need protection from, and you'll be able to do your commentary as you're turning. My final thoughts. A very well manufactured piece of equipment, very effective, and also very comfortable. A slight minus is the cover for the USB-C ports. That'd be nice if that was tethered to the helmet, because it's got to be very easy to lose this. That's why I've got a couple of spares just in case. The main problem I see is the battery. Although it is guaranteed for 2,000 hours or 1 year, whichever comes first, and I assure you that the battery will last a lot longer than a year. However, if it does fail and it's not within the guarantee period, the whole unit has to go back to the manufacturer for the battery to be replaced. And that, I see, could be a drawback for some. Possibly especially here in the UK, where you've got the shipping and what have you, all those extra costs. However, I've been lucky over the last 12-14 years to review two other respirators as well, namely the Trend Air Shield Pro and the Axminster Evolution made by JSP here in the UK. I find the Trend quite uncomfortable to wear, and I very rarely, if ever, wear it. A lot of people use it and find it okay, but for me personally, I find it uncomfortable. The Axminster Evolution is very comfortable to wear, but has less filtration capabilities than the Trend. Now the Air3 is far more comfortable, in my opinion, than the Trend, has excellent filtration capabilities, and is only slightly, and I mean slightly, less comfortable than the Evolution. The difference in comfort levels is certainly not a deterrent and will not stop me wearing it. I certainly will be wearing this from now on. So those are my final thoughts. Make of them what you will. I hope you found the video of some use. Thank you very much indeed for watching. If you do have any queries, contact MicroClimate and I'm sure they'll be more than happy to answer them. Well, again, thank you very much indeed for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and to share and like, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers now.